All right,
My goodness.
what's good, Lorcana fans? Welcome back to the Ohana cast. We're coming back to you after the CCS, what was an 8K that turned into a 10K. It was a great time, and per usual, I'm here with my co-manager Tanya Panda and DJ the zoologist Gunther and Lucas the Hammer, and we're just gonna go over some of the lists that topped and kind of what we played and recap CCS for you and give you our thoughts on the upcoming meta as well. I'll show you a little surprise at the end of the podcast. Tanya, if you wanna, I wanna just go ahead and get mine out of the way.
Yours out of the way?
Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
he got all excited.
We gonna share some screens here now. I'm just gonna share this whole window. Whole screen. Share. This is not it. This is Bruce's list.
It
Yeah,
is
It's a little
indeed.
blurry, but it's the best we can do.
It's all good. Okay, so I'm gonna take you through my thought process on why I played this deck. Friday night, the only thing that I knew about what I was gonna play is that there was gonna be purple in it. I had no idea if it was gonna be red or green. Um, at the time, I had the idea, and I think I was kind of wrong, but I thought that purple's always been the best color in Lorcana, but I thought that the color like margin of difference and like the goodness, I guess, would be that like purple like significantly jumped in this set. So I thought it was really good based on EU Continentals and coming to CCS here. I just thought that talking to another teammate of ours, also the green purple, would be a really good pick because it's good into red purple, it's good into red blue. It is not good into steel decks, which I thought there would be a few of, but that was very wrong because there were 5 out of 8 in the top cut. I played one round one and in the last round of CCS. I went X2, but I did beat one of them, so that was pretty sick. But a few things have to bounce your way in that matchup, I think, and a few things ended up bouncing my way as well as being on the play. And so I don't think that that happens too often. The reason I picked this, other than that, was that based on the representation in EU Continentals, I thought that we would see a lot of those decks that were going to be good matchups, and we'd see a few less steel decks. But as DeCandio proved me wrong, he went back to back. So I took basically Lorcana decks from Continentals. The only difference was he played Dawn Carnage in the 5-drop slot. I swapped that with Bells because on the podcast, like right after that, he said that if you thought there'd be a lot of purple decks, which I did, there was purple steel there was red purple, and there was green purple. There was quite a bit of purple representation that he would play Bell. So I was like, cool, I'll put Bell in my deck instead of looking for some random evasive that no one's ever heard of. And it was pretty good. The MVPs of the deck for the weekend were easily Crab. Crab's the best card in this deck, especially with things like Pegasus to kill a genie. And then I really, really, really like Mother's Knows Best. Mother Knows Best was crazy this weekend. Just taking away characters that typically freeze the game for aggro decks like Big Tinkerbell and Shark is just really important. When they think they're going to be able to stall you, they just like don't get the chance to because you do something like Sing with a White Rose or Crab and then just continue pushing for game. And that tempo shift when they thought that they were going to slow you down ends up being super scary. Other than that, it was the Battle of Genies all weekend. Uh,
The Battle of Genies was insane that weekend. Like absolutely.
Yeah, and speaking of Bruce, the 4-drop slot, because I know the ratios people have been trying to figure out of how all out do you go on the genie rabbit ratio, and I've seen some people split it 3-3 in these purple decks, kind of across the board of all the purple decks. How did you feel just going all out on 4-4, maxing out on card draw?
I always thought that when this card was like, it was obviously going to be hard, right? Because, uninkable counts are a thing, but like, they're just both insane cards. And Genie was like, it's Rabbit, but it's also pseudo castle because it's going to require like some type of card to, out as well. So they're just both extremely powerful. I found a lot this weekend that they actually serve like two different purposes with the Genie, being kind of like castle. I didn't get a lot of testing before this event. I literally said I decided my deck the night before, but while playing, like I figured out a lot of the lines where when you knew that they were trying to use all their early removal to slow you down, I kind of prioritized throwing down Rabbit because you knew it would always net you 2 cards. And whereas previously with a red purple, you would like be like, I need to protect this Rabbit, like I might not play it on 4, so I don't get it brawled, and I play Snake to bounce it on 6 instead. um, I just like let Rabbit die and was like, it's gonna net me 2 cards anyway, and it takes that removal card away. And so eventually, once all that removal is spent, you get to play Genie just like you would play Castle late game in red purple, and it functions essentially the same because all the removal's been spent. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like in a deck like this, you're at what, like 14 uninkables, which isn't terrible. And really, it's just getting enough ink to that first Genie Rabbit, really. And then you're kind of golden.
I had this like really cool play against one of my red purple opponents where I like took a be prepared from them, and like I could see that the Sisu was gonna be on the follow up. So I like snaked my Genie over my Rabbit, like knowing it was gonna die, and then just played it again next turn. That was pretty sick.
Yeah. I mean, getting those kind of 3+ power characters was definitely huge for the weekend with all the red decks running around that some of us saw a lot of.
I think
Yeah,
if
a
you're
lot of
playing against
people were
ass like
cutting.
you, Bruce, you're
Huh?
topping it for sure.
A lot of people have been cutting like Snake in this deck, and while I can see like not playing 4, like it's like even though the song matchup's like very hard, it's still a really good play on 2, to like combat those like Cindy's and like live. And just like always having bounces because like crab, like I said, Crab's effect was like MVP for sure. And so like even if it's like not a rush character like Fox, just being able to snake Crab give something else challenger is huge, like Elsa.
Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of hype with Go-Go. How often did you find you were able to kind of sneak in some extra lore with Go-Go that you feel like made a difference in the matchup?
Most people were very good at being conscious of playing against it. And so on Sunday when we played round 8 was the first time I actually got its effect off because I wasn't able to find like a Mother's Knows Best, and I couldn't find a Crab to boost my Elsa. So my red blue opponent was like really efficiently playing around Elsa. But in playing around Elsa, he played into Go-Go, and so his Maui Shark had 4 damage on it when I was at 17. And so I was able to close the game out there for game 1. And that felt really good because I literally I told my opponent, I was like, that feels nice because the best thing Gogo has done this weekend before that was in like round 3. I played this like lemon lime aggro deck that just kept dropping like 2 questers, and like it killed a Lilo and was able to live.
Well,
I think the issue with the green purple deck is like you're either playing around Go-Go or you're playing around the Elsa. And in my case, with the deck that I was playing, I'm also having to play around the Bell. So it like you have to like pick and choose what you're playing around. And I think Bell is also really good for this deck as well. Like the move damage gets around resist and can like really change the game if you have the bounce fox in hand to like get rid of a Pluto and kind of sack some other characters, especially against like the new like Steel Song version, I guess, the Mine version. So DJ
Bella,
like half smiles when I say the new version of Song.
Well, not necessarily song, but Amber Steel.
Yeah, our
Bella's
little eight
That's like
song.
calling a pterodactyl a dinosaur. It's not. It's a
Whoa!
flying reptile.
all right, DJ.
That was pretty good this weekend. It got to like take out a Flynn when it was like my only option to get rid of a Flynn, and then it it also it removed some damage off of like a Steel Song player at one point to like play around Rapunzel, so that was helpful.
Mm.
Um, Other than that, like it was ink, but like when it came up, it was like really good. So I definitely think like Like if I was gonna play this deck again, it would probably be like this list. I don't think there was anything like necessarily wrong with it. I just think Song is an incredibly poor matchup. And the other thing I lost to was the red blue player that made top cut, and he just drew the absolute stones. Like he won the roll and did not miss a beat on removing things for me. And I saw like 8 Hiram during the match. Like good for him. Like he earned his top, but I like it was never like normally I was like, oh, this is a good matchup, it'll be close. It was not close. It was never close. Like I got my stuff shoved in.
That's so funny.
It's not good like missing a one drop against your best matchup when you play
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
100.
I was gonna say you only play what
What is
12,
that?
15 one drops.
Yeah.
It's quite the amount.
Fourth
But yeah,
of the deck.
what is that?
I think it's Lucas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be Chris playing with toys in the background.
Whose list is next? Do we want to do DJ's list?
We can.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. The Zooey.
Yeah, so
Oh, God.
going into the weekend, similar theme to Bruce, I had not done a ton of testing. Found out about something where you can do some testing online, just not publicly. And now I can get some pretty decent testing in. So I've always been partial to Steel Song. I'm not a big fan of the newer, more strictly aggro to where it's not really Steel Song, it's just Amber Steel aggro, and also the Mines version. I feel like a lot of those aggro decks kind of can easily run out of steam and don't really have some of the longevity in some of the matchups.
Yeah.
You do kind of run lower percentage points into your worst matchup of red blue, but I feel like you definitely have the edge, a little bit more of an edge in some of your other matchups. So as long as you don't run into red blue, you just gotta dodge, learn how to dodge really. And not to say that you can't beat red blue. I did go end up switching up my deck list. I had a deck built and it was relatively similar to this list, but I saw Frank Karsten, uh, obviously very well known, great player. So he obviously knows what he's doing with this game. And so he was trying out the symbol line, and I have not tested it at all. So I wanted to give it a try. And I'll be honest, I do really like the Simba shift line. It was really cool when it went off. It makes you do some very unique things that you're not usually used to doing in Lorcana. And you kind of feel like you're almost cheating in a sense with reading all your other characters. And I will say, with the unfortunate scenario where I ended up running into 4 red blue players, uh, all 6 of my rounds, I lost the die roll, so I was on the draw. I did win my first red blue matchup 2-1, lost the next one 0-2, and then I lost 1-2 to the next 2 red blue players, losing the ones on the draw, winning the one on the play. And the list I had made before, I instead of Simba, I had 3 daisies. I had went back to the daisies, even though I don't really always like the card. But I had 3 daisies, and then I ended up having, I believe it was 2 Gaston. So it was pretty much, for the most part, a trade out of the Simbas for those 5 cards. Gaston just making sure you have a reliable singer on board to wheel or sing a whole new world, because you can't always rely on that shift line of Robin Hood or Ariel sticking whatsoever, because Ariel's just, if you can destroy or sorry, banish Genie, you can banish an Ariel. So naturally, she's not usually long for this world. Uh, there were several scenarios in the red blue matchups where I open Simba turn 1, double Simba turn 2, and I just couldn't help but think, if those were daisies, I'd be gaining double the lore right now, and things might have went differently. But that's all hindsight, and either way you cut it, you're going to run into your worst matchup, and you're not always going to win die rolls. So it was just kind of one of those take it on the chin moments that I unfortunately had to do. So once I started 3-1, and then I ran into two more red blues and ended up 3-3, and I was like, I'm dropping at that point. So uh, yeah, I overall think regardless of the red blue matchups, absolutely destroyed red purple and green purple. Uh, just a fun fact for people who may not know the ruling on Cinderella shift line. Uh, it is actually just as a public service announcement. If you were to have Little Cinderella out and you play a song and then you shift Cinderella's ability is not actually active because it is a triggered ability. So you do need to have Big Cinderella out on the field when that song is played for the ability to activate. It was just something that came up at the event, another player kind of contesting that ruling. But we always have kind of opinions on sometimes when the wording isn't necessarily extremely explicit. So I always understand if you don't know, ask. And then there were thankfully a lot of great judges that, like there are at a lot of these events. So just always nice to have the support of them and looking into those rulings for us.
Absolutely.
One Lawrence feels super, super weird though.
Oh yeah, I hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the one Lawrence.
You
No,
gotta be playing at
I
least
did. That was
4.
another thing I had. I think 3 in my list. I'm
Lawrence
pretty
is
sure I had cut
crazy.
the Naveen's for 2 more Lawrences. I think what was in my list originally, because yeah, I didn't have Naveen either in
I
my
do still
version.
think the Simba shift line does seem a little better than the Daisies because I mean going Cindy on 1, Robin Hood Simba on 2. I mean you kind of force your opponent to pick a shift line, saying you don't have that one.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Really good
but at
idea.
the same time, in red blue, I'm not always wanting to, just especially if I have say Robin Hood on turn 1, Smee turn 2, or Lilo uh, as my more aggressive questers on 2, shifting Robin Hood or shifting Simba that I played on turn 1 and then still only having 2 characters on board feels really bad.
Yes,
The ideal scenario is getting just those 1 drops. So there would be many times where I'd go Robin Hood, 1 drop, or my 2 drop, and then turn 3, even though I have a shift target, uh, as long as I know I can still shift the next turn or something like that, then just go wider because it's the only really way you get under some of those red blue decks because at a certain point you don't get to play cards anymore.
I was gonna say, as long as you can make it to like turn 5 and like get a decent board, the Simba's insane.
yeah,
Like,
that seems pretty
but
well.
you gotta make it to turn 5 with those characters on the board is the issue. Like you gotta play through Sisu, Brawl, but no, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Like it's like getting to that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Criminal Mind definitely top
Guard.
tier card. I love that card, especially in this format where you have a lot of. They added more 5+ strength characters with Maui Shark
Oh,
being very prevalent. So you got your big Sisus, your Tamatoas, and you just get to say, "Hey, that banish it." So and Big Clarabelle's another one that comes up.
that's kind of crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, but nothing too out of the ordinary. But shout outs to Frank Carson for building that list. He had a lot of success with it over in EU, and it was worth giving it a try for the weekend.
Should have played some flutes, TJ.
Oh, now you're talking.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like this list would probably be really good with flutes.
Cut the Naveen's paid. We play 2 more flutes. We're in there.
Oh, those are the
I, under-
days.
I understand it now.
I
Or if we play
understand.
4 flutes, we can play 6. Now we're there.
Alrighty.
Let's do like the red purple next.
Which one? We got 2. We got Kendall's and we got David Nunez. You wanna do Kendall since it was a 10K?
Yeah, let's do candles.
Alright.
Do you want to take the lead on this one, Lucas, since you played red purple over the weekend?
I did. I played something pretty similar to this actually.
You were
Well,
playing
56
castles
cards
though.
and red purple are pretty much the same. So
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, the list doesn't really change that much. Playing 3-3 split is pretty good. I do like the Bell. One Dragonfire is pretty interesting considering we're playing no sharks, but I guess I could see it too.
This is the second list that I saw playing the one of Dragonfire, and I was like mind blown by the one
I
of
like it if you
Dragonfire.
play shark, but I don't know.
He said that it was really good. I can't remember. I saw a tweet where he said that
Mhm.
like Widow was really good to hit like on right on curve, but I cannot remember. He said that he would swap the fish hook for a second bell. I do remember
You know
that.
why
Yeah,
he would swap the fish hook, right?
Because he
You
didn't
know,
know what his effect was.
he was talking to Luca. I was sitting there, and he did it. Okay. Also, a bunch of people that play red purple were like, "Well, I'm gonna play the fish hook because I saw Kendall playing it," and I was like, "You guys know why he played it, right?" And they were like, "No." I was like, "I'm pretty sure if I correct me if I'm wrong, Kendall, if you hear this, but he
Oh.
told Luca that he thought that it was +3 and evasive,
That's
not
crazy.
or evasive." So,
Good thing that card's inkable, bro. On
yeah.
God.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at DJ.
Not
This
me
is
looking up the card.
Guys,
this
at
is
all
what
levels, we
DJ.
forget to read the card, okay? It's fine.
this is what he
What are red
said.
cards?
This is what he said about his all his tech cards. He said all of these were pretty impactful. Looking at the Sisu, the Dragonfire, and the Bell and the Fishhook. He said all of them were pretty impactful. Except for the Fishhook, that should have been a second Bell. Dragon's Fire was better than Tremaine sometimes because I hit Gantu on 5 a lot, and sometimes they just had Tremaine fodder, and then sometimes you wish it was Tremaine, which is kind of like the red purple like catch-22, right? Because like
like, I
you
feel like
kind
that's
of like you
normal.
always want this removal, but then like
If
it's
you
like
have the other.
Medusa and Tremaine, like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want one lady and then need the other. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I could really like Dragonfire because that last round that I lost because I couldn't kill a Cricky, and I'm sitting there with Tremaine and I'm like, dude, this game sucks. I think with Cricky. And then in game 3, I just got messed up by a triple Merfolk. That's evil.
Into double
Yeah.
Flynn draw.
Yeah, and I've got double prep in my hand. I'm like, man, this game, I hate this game. I do like 4 prep though. 4 prep's nice. I could get behind that.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. I've always like a lot of people play like the 3 prep 1 Sisu, and I've always been like 4 prep 1 Sisu is cool. I do like that. Like Sisu kind of like last format was kind of like teetering in and out of the deck because of just like how the format was. But because we have a lot of like low to the ground 2-string character decks, like Sisu like is a bomb now in red purple
Yeah.
still.
Powerhouse, like absolutely. I'm scared of turn 6 now if they have a
Yeah,
C2 out because I don't want that shift line to drop.
The only scary thing about Sisu in this deck is we just don't get Ice Block. Ice
yeah.
Block to me is what makes the big Sisu just so scary.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the Dragonfire though. Dragonfire is nice. Bell is
Yeah.
also insanity.
Yeah, when I saw the Dragonfire, I'll be honest, I saw that and just at first assumed there was a Maui shark in there just because the instant
Yeah, I
relation
also
to
assumed
the
the same thing.
actions. Because being able to challenge something and get back a unconditional banish minus ward characters seems pretty good of a nice loop
Yeah.
of controlling the board, but at the same time, how much is overkill at that point?
I really liked Castle this weekend. I know this list is on none, but Castle this weekend for me was just like an MVP into every matchup. So I would
I
have,
feel like it's because a lot of people aren't expecting it.
yeah, I guess, but then you just kind of put them on. You have to have it
Mm-hmm.
because if Castle sticks around for like one turn, it's pretty good.
Castle gets better when some people aren't playing Castle because they have to consider whether or not you're playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of low to the ground decks that don't have
Answers
the
to
ability
it.
to take
Yeah.
out a 7 health, let alone
But
McDuck Manor.
probably don't
or
care.
This is
about
why we play for Lawrence.
Yeah, that's
That's
all
why
it
we
is.
play
Like,
4 crab.
Yeah, I was gonna say the purple decks.
Yeah.
Crab Fox kind of
yeah,
mops
I
it
mean,
up pretty
you
quick,
can
but
on
Mm-hmm.
5, 6,
Yeah, for sure.
8, 9. 12,
How many
15,
uninkables does he play?
15.
Oh, it's
I
not
ran
bad.
into the
I
uninkable
guess that's
problem
pretty
a lot.
normal for red, purple.
DJ,
Yeah.
I played against Amber Steel, dude, and I needed to prep for 2 turns, and I just kept drawing uninkables every turn. I had 3 genies in my hand. I was like, dude, I only play 3. What is happening?
That's so sad. Oh
Dude, it
my
was
god.
awful. I was like, if he wheels me, I just scoop. I lose. All the beats
Did
Yeah.
are
you
in
have
my
4 ink
hand.
at least?
I had the ink of friends that I drew off the genie I had to play that got prepped the next turn.
Well, I will say at least you could play
Could have played a
something.
crab instead.
I had multiple games against red blue where I was at 4 ink and I drew wheel, storm. I had to storm an empty board, and then draw another storm and then another wheel.
Oh god.
Oh,
I scooped at that point.
that is so sad.
Yeah,
Sometimes your hands are just like that though. Like there's just
yeah,
nothing,
that's kind of a
nothing you
lot of
can do.
decks.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the issue that a lot of decks are coming to now is just trying to decide what to put in the deck because we're 6 sets in. There's some real good cards out there, and it's just like teching for everything feels impossible, which it is obviously, but
Yeah, we're not playing the best 5 cards of each color
yeah,
anymore.
Yeah,
exactly.
and that's been a overall, like, regardless of anyone's feelings of the different versions of the same ink combination,
Mhm.
it is very exciting to see the complete variance between. You can't just say, oh, I'm playing against Amber
Mhm.
Steel, they're playing this pretty much list minus
You have to
the couple cards.
specify. Mhm.
We're now getting into the point where there's enough cards that are competitive to build multiple versions of the same ink combination. We had the 5 steel song or amber steel decks, and see, we gotta stop. I
Yeah, we
have
can't
to
be
stop
still
calling
song
it steel
anymore.
song.
Watch it,
5
DJ.
amber steel decks, and we had a one dwarf mine, obviously Decandio crushing it, and then we had a Mufasa build. We had a no wheel kind of aggro version, and then we also
Yeah,
had
that's
your kind of more traditional steel
fun.
song with a shift queen line.
Mhm.
So
Crazy.
yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you, like, uh, even though we're getting more cards, it's not just taking the existing decks that we have and just, hey, all right, boot out the weakest card in the deck and call it a day.
I like Bruce playing 4 crab. Over the weekend I would have liked to have crab in my deck for sure.
Yeah,
Crab's
Crab is
nutty.
some people kind of go
crab
back
is
and forth on whether or not crab is impactful in certain amethyst
well,
decks.
having a crab and then playing an Elsa is just so evil against Genie.
My favorite thing is like crashing a crab into something, giving
Exactly.
another thing challenger. Oh, it's so saucy.
Just taking
That last
stuff
time,
out.
dude,
Yeah.
I played a
Yeah,
Genie and I was like, I think I'm gonna win. Elsa tap it, Genie kills something, my fox. Elsa killed
yeah.
the Genie. I was like, dang, I hate this game.
Mhm.
Yeah, Amethyst is kind of ever since set 2 when the bounce package came out. That was set 2, right? Uh, it's been a kind of
Mhm.
deck that you kind of always have to play around, kind of like we were talking about earlier with Go Go. You always have to play around. Do they have Fox? Am I safe to quest? Even though they have
Mhm.
nothing devastating on board, they can pump that little, like you and your little 1/1 Pegasus evasive,
That
taking
was
down a
my
genie,
The
Bruce. So
worst
like,
is the Diablo on turn 1,
yeah,
and then they're, like, questing, and then turn 3 rolls around, and they start taking your shit out with a Diablo that's boosted to 3, and then they get to draw a card, and it feels bad.
yeah,
I
and
hate that so much.
it gets to kind of quest with reckless abandon if you're ahead on board, and then if
Mhm.
you're falling behind on board, you have crab to kind of equalize that and retake some tempo. So I think, yeah, it enables a card like Diablo that otherwise is only really able to quest with reckless abandon if you're ahead on board to function kind of as a double-edged sword there.
I'd also really like to see how many green purple these two played against or how the matchup was. Because to me the matchup is so tough. Especially being on the draw against green purple with this deck. It's evil.
Yeah, just don't be like me, learn to roll dice better.
I mean, yeah, so even if you one
How many
drop any
dice rolls did you win
I'll
that
take it.
weekend, DJ?
I
So
forgot
funny.
what my kid.
There's not too many differences in this deck.
It's
These two red
literally
purple
these
decks.
two.
I would just argue, yeah, it's literally just like the tech cards versus like tripling up on the ladies. So
Mhm.
I
Yep.
could get behind the tripling on the two ladies.
that's what the Euros guy did, right? The one that won Euros.
No, I think he was on two.
I was on two. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's cool. I've always, I think we've done this before, right? Where like Matt was like, I really like the idea of 4 Lady Tremaine and 4 Lady Medusa and just running it.
God, and you'll draw all 7 of them.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Or
dude.
all 8 of them. And you're
We're always shifting.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I will never. I also don't play red purple, but I don't think I would ever consider playing 4 of each of those when I play the
Yeah.
bounce package. Also, like you're crazy.
yeah.
Like that's insane. Matt's
Uh,
next level with that. But
that was like
I
a while ago.
yeah, there's honestly not many differences. Like I will
Mhm.
say, Bruce made a comment earlier. It was DJ, but literally, red purple is like the same. Like what? How many cards is this? Like it's
Like
the same. Like
74,
Yeah.
It's always at least 50 at this
yeah,
point.
yeah.
like 62.
I don't
Even
hate. I mean, there's still other versions. They're just not like doing as well. Like we've got
yeah.
the Sharks version.
Yeah.
This we've got the Burn version. Like those exist. They
The
just like
burn
this is
version's just annoying. It's like that's literally is all it is.
this one's just proven tried and
Tell us how you
true.
really feel
Like
about it.
always does well.
It's just so consistent.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It is. It's honestly probably the most consistent deck in Lorcana right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
it's
set
impossible.
to
to not
set,
draw
like
3 drop.
what they have one new card in the deck. It's the genie. Like that's it. They're not changing out like some of us that play other decks. They're not changing out like multiple. How many did traditional Amber Steel traded out for Big Simba
On very
and
Pluto.
Lilo?
That's not the
Yeah.
common.
Some play Pluto too.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Pluto. Yeah, so 3
Pluto's pretty
cards.
crazy.
Yeah.
Pluto's nice.
Well, 3 cards, but technically probably more like 10 cards in the whole deck because you're doing probably either a play set or 2 of Pluto, and then you're doing a play set of Lilos for sure. So it's either 8 to 10 cards that you're like switching out. Where red purple is just like, oh, I guess I'll take a draw card out and add another draw card in.
That
that's
has a
that's
base
better and has a base of quest for 2.
It
Like
has a baser.
yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
the
swap
crazy
this
part
kill
about it.
spell for this kill spell
Yeah.
for this meta.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
It's just your attack cards at this point, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But oh god, what happened?
Let's move on to something else.
Let's
tired of red purple.
go. Oh, did I close that whole thing?
Yeah.
Big sad. Oh, hold on.
Just open up Chrome and do Control Shift T.
Was it Chrome?
Oh, was it Chrome? I just always assume internet browsers are Chrome.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Safari before, DJ?
Bro, get Safari out of here.
It's an internet browser on all iPhones if you didn't know.
Where's the Candios list? We'll
I think
open
I
up.
sent it to you.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
There's also the Microsoft Edge too.
It is definitely Edge that I use. Shut up.
Kind of think of it else
I
is
use
it.
both, but I use Chrome for the Ohana stuff, and then I use Edge for like all my personal stuff. So I like have all the logins like separated.
What do you use Safari for?
Using both is psychotic behavior, honestly. Like
Calm
I would
down.
rather
calm
you just
down.
go full like Edge at that point.
Okay,
Yeah,
so both
yeah.
of these are technically DeCandio's list.
They look the same.
They're not.
Oh, Kita is in one
They're
of them.
very different. They're not very different. Literally the
Very
difference is Kita. And yeah, I think Kita definitely made a difference for DeCandio. Because I would have loved to get to turn 5, play Akita, and then just quest all my shit and not have to worry about it getting killed. Because like
And
turn 5
maybe
is
prepare.
realistically like when this deck specifically has to start worrying about stuff. Um, I think it's really fun. I've been playing it for I think like a month and a half now, a month now or something. I literally told Corey, I was like, I want mines, I want dwarves, and I want to go fast. And DeCandio had a perfect list, so we built this one. Honestly, Calhoun's a powerhouse, like 4-up in both decks for
You
sure.
think so?
Absolutely. The only thing that
I
like
think Calhoun is
really
they're a
makes
mid.
me worry about Calhoun like being a powerhouse is playing against purple and them getting to turn 5 and just like Bell move 3 damage, because the moving of
Snake on
damage does
2.
not stop. Snake on 2, okay.
Quest.
I'm trading my Calhoun with that. I'm not like
I feel like they, I don't know. I'm so like iffy about Calhoun. To me, it's
I
like
think
Calhoun is
Calhoun
insane.
I think Calhoun has like single-handedly like helped me close games.
if I'm playing against aggro, it's good. If I'm playing against control, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
challenging into red blue stuff, and it's
Yeah, like
uninkable,
what
so
are you
you're kind of
challenging
forced
the
to play it and quest for one.
yeah, but it also like stalls your opponent's board like heavily, which is very much in your favor because it
Yeah,
gives you more turns to like try to like go for game.
it's Tink on 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like it freezes the game. Anything that freezes the game is crazy.
Yeah.
Shark.
Yeah.
You know, I just figured out what that Doors Mind card does like last night on Lore Cognito. I never read it until last night.
I don't know what that is, bro.
Yeah,
That card is
it sounds
awesome.
like some.
Never heard of her.
Dwarves find okay.
I feel like
DJ
Doors
does not
Mind-
DJ does not like this deck. I watched Matt play this deck on our unspoken place that we play Lorcana. And I think that it's a deck you guys can't pilot very well because it's not their
Dang,
play
dang.
style. It's just because it's not their play style. Like,
Yeah,
because
she's talking about you.
Matt and DJ are both very like mid-rangey. I want to control the board. I want to be in control of the time. And this deck is a play a card, turn it sideways the next turn. Like that's it.
Turn
Like
off brain.
yeah.
Go face.
That's literally it. I think that it definitely it's not always turn off brain.
No, I'm
It's
trolling.
so no, you're good. It definitely is, don't get me wrong, but I think it's also just like knowing when to play the mines, knowing when to play the happies, like to move everything over. It gets like kind of like frustrating, especially when they play a crab and have a snake out and then just kill your mine. Like that's really annoying.
I was
But
gonna say, I feel like there's so many ways to kill mine, and if
oh
they
yeah,
play
it's only a 6 health. It sucks, but
Yeah, but no,
it's
like
still really good. Like if you
play
can
around
get
fun.
the mine out, if you can get 2 mines out, like that's an absolute game changer. If you can get 2 mines out and they cannot get rid of them, you're
Yeah.
just like happy move. Yeah, I'm bouncing back and forth, like I'm killing all your stuff. And then my
And then-
Calhoun, like
oh
I'm
my
killing your big
God.
stuff, Calhoun's killing your small stuff.
And then we get to go. Oh wait, we don't play go yet.
No, we don't play goat.
yeah, no. All jokes aside, I will say, like, especially if you watched one of the many streamed matches from the 10K, there were a lot of areas where, because you are so kind of reliant on running, or like so worried about running out of gas with this kind of deck, that really just wants to get it all out there and then refuel, and you kind of gotta be like, please
Hope
let
you
this
have the
stop
dock.
the card be dock.
Yeah.
It
like
really
when
makes
dock,
your kind
like
of
your
ink
opponent-
strategy really important too,
Mhm.
because I mean you're depleting your hand decently fast, and you also have
it's
to
like more
take
of
into
a angle.
account. And this is one thing that I've found that I kind of struggled with, and with having Doc and Rapunzel almost as conflicting kind of card draw engines, is when you kind of need to go the route of, okay, no, I just need to abandon the Rapunzel, go the Doc route, or okay, I can play the Doc and then I can Rapunzel into potentially another Doc or something like that. So
Yeah.
kind of
That
knowing
was an issue that I ran into a lot over the weekend actually, was
yeah, you're like,
like yeah, it's like which one do I play? Because it's also a lot of like people when people are swinging at like like these characters, they're just killing them 90% of the time. So I have to have a Lawrence out, or I have to have a Pete out, or my Daisy has to survive because 9 times out of 10 it's getting like C-sued or brawled or something. So it's like a lot of times I felt like Rapunzel was almost just a dead card in my hand, and I would just go the Doc route because
I could see that.
somehow I always drew a mine off of it. So I would play it and then I would just move my Doc. I was crazy. Corey hates it because I just like
Yeah,
dock into some
better
like
than me.
insane stuff. But yeah, it's like you're betting on the storm, like having the storm to draw that one extra card, having the dock like when your hand is empty, or like being able to Rapunzel, and it's not very consistent. I will say that much, but it's still a really fun deck to play. And I love like ditching the Lilo off of killing a merfolk. Feels good.
Oh yeah, same. I did that with
Feels
the
so
one drop
good, yeah.
Simba. I draw a card and discard. I'll
Mhm.
discard Lilo.
Yeah. Especially I played 3 green purple decks over the weekend, I think, or 2. I can't
Lucky.
remember. I 2-0'd all of them.
Yeah.
As soon as if I had Daisy in hand, I'm playing her. They're playing a cursed merfolk. I'm killing your curse. I'm not giving you cards. Like
Yeah.
I'm not giving you cards. Until like I can go for game. So yeah, no. And then I just ditch the Lilo if I had it in hand because it's just all right. I'll bring it back in like turn 6 when I have 4 more ink to play with. Especially if you have a Pluto. Like if you Pluto green purple once, they can't handle it. If you Pluto them twice, they're probably GG scooping. Like actually.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's not because they don't have the
Tricky.
characters to like
Well,
unless
you
you're playing versus list.
you just like can't really eliminate boards. Like I played Song twice this weekend, and again, like things have to bounce your way. And in round one, my opponent like not only won the roll, but did the Song things where they drew everything and like every step of the way, like had the removal for your feet. Like
I can
I
tell you about that.
like you know in a deck like where I'm playing green purple, I don't have Be Prepared in my deck, so I knew by turn like 4 or 5 that the game was beyond over. Like like 6
Yeah.
characters on board. I'm like, I have Kit's Cloud Kicker in my deck. Like I'll put your Ariel in hand, I suppose, and
Yeah.
then the rest of your things will quest, and then kill my things, and then you'll build a bigger board next turn, and
Gotta
this
be
will just
on
continue to
green.
get more out of hand. Like that was the shortest match of the day by far. Like round 1 was so discouraging, and the fact that I like didn't go X2 until the end of the day was crazy.
My round 2 was like that because like this deck specifically, I don't know if DeCandio played like a traditional Steel Song, but my deck against like traditional Steel Song was miserable. It's like turn 1 Cindy, all right, cool. I'll turn 1 Daisy, turn 2 Ursula, cool. My Daisy's gone. Like what do you do? And then like, yeah, it's just
Look at DJ grinning.
it's very
Yeah,
sad.
I mean it's a bunch of rock paper scissors. You sacrifice one matchup
Mhm.
to increase the other because yeah, he didn't get to see if he was always on the play. Obviously, I think he was on the play all through top 8.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that obviously gives you a pretty good advantage because even with my list, which I think is worse into red blue than the more aggro versions, obviously,
Sure.
I won all but one of my red blue matchups when I was on the play. So
It's just because you're better.
Ah.
Yeah.
you just gotta always have it,
Do we have a red
and still
blue?
lose. But
Yeah.
what?
I think we have one.
No, you keep going, DJ.
We have one what?
Red blue list. I just had to make
The
sure.
one that I lost to made top.
Oh no, we do not have a red blue list.
Oh my god.
I could get it to you real quick.
We do have.
Second of game right now.
Did we talk about the Mufasa list?
No,
No.
we have
I don't
not.
think so. We can go off
I've
over real
referenced
quick.
it.
Mufasa. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
This is crazy, however. This I like. I can get behind this.
I can get
What?
behind anything with Gantu and Chimpo.
I knew it was gonna be.
I love Chenpo. I think Chenpo over Pluto. Don't fight me in the comments.
Nah.
I love.
it's Pluto
I
over
love
you.
Chenpo.
No, it's Pluto for sure.
Chimpo and Pluto are
Well,
best
this was just like
Both?
Fano Los
Oh, I
Dos.
guess he's playing Mufasa. Never mind. Oh,
So
Yeah.
you play Cinco and then they just go shark kill. And
Well, you-
I didn't realize that
You're never getting through this Gantu with Chimpo and Pluto, bro.
Yeah.
be
Imagine Chenpo Pluto.
That's true. If you're playing against anything that is not red, I don't see how you lose.
Yeah,
Mm.
you're
Yeah.
not getting through it.
If it's
Also, I'm
not
just
red,
Zeusing
man,
your
it's
shark.
iron.
Like, I'm Zeusing your shark.
Yeah, we saw the
Your shark
evolution
doesn't
of
matter.
Ruby Amber kind of had always was sitting there as kind of
Oh.
fringe play, starting like set 2. That's what I actually played in the Atlanta 8K CCS
It
back
just
in
really
April.
had a really good Ruby Amethyst matchup, which was like the biggest thing because the bounce
Yeah.
back at that time.
It was
then-
big aggro.
Yeah, and then Mufasa kind of fell off. Even from that kind of fringe, would see occasional top 8 or something like that, never really making into the spotlight. And now I feel like, especially I believe it was Alvin Lorgane's showing of Amber Steel, I think made top 16. Was that Vegas or was it Seattle? It's one of those two. But he had brought Steel,
Top
Amber, Mufasa, and obviously went really far, getting his invite. And then now this kind of seems like the new Mufasa home. He's ditched his Ruby buddies and stuck with the Steel.
I mean, Gantu's pretty hilarious, to be fair. A 4-question.
Gigantu's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
The redemption arc for him was ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah, he's one of those cards where there's enough answers to him that he can be dealt with immediately, and you feel
Mhm.
really bad for
But
spending
if they
5
don't
ink.
have it,
But he asks you very nicely, "Do you have an answer?" Otherwise, he's getting forlorn.
Seriously. I like the Doc. I love Doc.
Shocker.
I always want to.
Yeah.
I like the big Cindy. That's pretty cool.
No, I was talking about the yellow Doc.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, well, they are.
That's just a natural like Mufasa progression play, right? Let's see,
Yeah.
played Fossil
No,
on
we
4.
need Plutos and Gastons.
Well, Gaston's better in the Ruby version. You would have no reason to play the Gaston in this version of Mufasa because
Absolutely you
Gaston was
do.
ramping you into your 6-drop since he reduced the cost by 2. So on
Dude,
turn
you're
4, you're
wild.
playing a 6-drop. Here you have no 6-drops.
You
So
just
that's
What
why
was the
Doc
played
is
6-drop?
Gaston.
What was the 6-drop in?
Tinkerbell.
Oh,
Amber. What, Amber Ruby? Yeah, Gaston was always getting the 6-drops out like Tremaine or Medusa, or even I was
Even
playing the
Stitch
Hydra.
Abomination.
The
Yeah.
Stitch Abomination,
Stitch
crazy
Abomination is
card.
crazy.
I got hit by the Beast Tragic Hero a lot because they would do Pluto on 1, Gaston on 2, Tragic Hero on 3, and how are you answering it?
Oh, and Steel
Please,
Mufasa?
Yeah.
yes, please tell me how we're answering this on 3 or not.
You're gonna shoot it with a
Ice Block Brawl.
Ice Block
Storm.
Ramp.
You
Yeah.
can't do that on 3.
Ice Block Brawl.
Yeah,
If
if
you're
you have
going
Ice
to
Block.
make
Block
it?
Brawl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're valid, I guess, yes.
The fuck? Ice
3
Block
minus
turn
1,
1,
2.
Brawl turn 3.
Okay,
You're
let's
tweaking
be
right now.
fair though. If you Ice Block Brawl the Beast, you might as well just scoop up your cards.
GG's.
You scoop up your cards.
Uh,
If we built all that up to a Tragic Hero just to get Ice Block Brawl, there's no way. I'm playing.
But have we
Okay.
went through Lucas, your list?
Lucas never sent me his list, so
Oh,
Lucas
well,
doesn't get to
sorry.
read it.
We did go through his list. We talked about 2 red purple decks.
Yeah,
That's true.
It was that 60 cards, and then just take 2 Queen's Castle and call it 62, and that was my amazing list. It almost made it, but I lost my last round, so instead of ending X1, I went X2.
Yeah,
Gosh,
and bubbled out
imagine.
top 16 with all the other
DJ
X2s.
saw my hand in game 3, and I looked around and I was like, I don't even want to play.
So this topped the 2K on Sunday at
2K.
CCS, right?
Yeah, and
Here.
split.
Okay. I know that our teammate Russell's been playing this. It seems like at the beginning of every. Oh no!
I
Oh
spoiled
my
it.
god!
I'm sorry.
Soiled it.
I'm gonna cut it out.
You're
Alright.
looking for a new managing partner? I'm taking application.
All right, cut. All right,
I'm like, Brianna, start over.
so I know that our teammate Russell has been playing Blurple quite a bit. At the beginning of the last couple of sets, it seemed we've kind of tinkered with it a little bit. So he brought this the last couple weeks to locals. He won, floored all of us. So what kind of that comment that I made was my initial thoughts on CCS. So I thought that purple had become significantly like the best color. I think the better purple gets, the better Blurple gets, obviously. And then with the addition, this is a direct comment from Russ, with the addition of Azurite and having Tipo previously, you just have like more consistent ramp on two. Like you're gonna find that more often. And so getting to play Rabbit and Genie on three just makes this deck like super powerful. And then they just have all these like big top end guys like the Big Elsa, the Hades. They're able to keep up with questing like they weren't able to previously as well. Like because we've got the Genies, the Rabbits, our little questers, and Fox Diablo or not Fox, Diablo Bloom and Turnabog. They're just able to keep up a lot more and then drop bombs later in the game, bounce those bombs, replay them. Their just game plan is a lot more consistent than it used to be. And they get to abuse the library, which is always disgusting.
Yeah. I'm
What about
interested about
Cogsworth?
the one copy of Cogsworth.
Exactly.
Just yeah, great minds. I've seen some lists in previous sets run Cogsworth. Since you are really you don't have board wipes, you are a board based combat when you are having to deal with an opposing board. So I do see value in hey, it has ward, hey, it can allow your characters to trade favorably and take less damage, survive, and then bell that damage off. But at one copy, I will say
It seems
kind of
irrelevant.
I'm skeptical of like, are you just kind of keeping that one copy? Most likely, the rationale would be there's some matchup that I'm not experienced enough with Blurple or Sapphire Amethyst to know, hey, in this matchup, Cogsworth ups my percentage of winning that matchup by X%, and that might be the rationale. So I would just have to kind of see Anderson his brain on that, see if that is the case. I know when I've messed with Blurple before, I've typically ran like 3 of the big Elsa because she is just insane, especially when you're bouncing it because you're usually not looking for snakes early game because you're wanting to ramp on 2. And well, I mean, Lucas can tell you when he was back on before his Red Blue days, when he played the same Elsa over and over and over again on me, it was not fun.
It was pretty
I
funny.
would say that he was probably my thought process behind it is like this 5-drop slot is like pretty clogged. You're playing
Yeah.
Elsa, which is huge. You're playing like this Donald and the Bell. I would
Yeah,
argue that like I've played like a lot of blue steel, and so Cogsworth has always been really good in changing the math and steel matchups. And as you mentioned earlier, like this is a challenge based deck, and so just changing the math on that, like getting your Fox to live for an extra turn, getting your Crab to live, getting your Genie to like live against things that it previously wouldn't, like the Genie on 4, Elsa on 5 game plan doesn't work if you play Cogsworth. So like that just changes a lot of things. Like Cogsworth is more annoying. Like everybody forgets Cogsworth until he's on the board, and then he's everyone's most annoying nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it was definitely the Bane of Steel songs existence for a while. Big Cindy being our main answer. But yeah, and then in the Ruby matchups, he's just ink because you're
Yeah,
and they're not playing characters for you to really challenge.
absolutely.
Speaking of Blue Steel, I know that's been your baby for the longest time. There was, I'm struggling to find it, but there was a recent Blue Steel list, was there not, that was
Yeah.
running
Yeah,
the 7-drop Arthur that you've cooked with before?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
pretty cool to see. Oh, it was in the ICL, the
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, hold on
Yeah.
a second. I think I can pull that one up because someone sent it in the chat, I think. That list was insane.
The Arthur was pretty cool.
Lamb also split top 8 of the 2K playing Blue
Hmm.
Steel.
What was his list? Did he post it?
I'm sure
I
he
don't
played like
see it on
he
Inkdex.
played like wheel and aerial and things like that. So he was like leaning really heavily into like just taking chunks out of the aerial as far as I was aware.
Small veer from CCS, but yeah, ICL list. All I'm
Jesus
saying
Christ.
is Pyros. Okay?
I don't even know what that
Fight
card
me.
does.
Do you want to explain what ICL is for those at home that
Oh.
don't know what the ICL is?
Illumineers Champion League is the ICL. It's Impact and is it Wonderland?
Yeah, I always say
Wonderland.
Vonderland because it's two V's
So do
making a
I.
W. And I'm like, am I just trying to
Wonderland.
make it fancy?
I do the same thing. And White Breezy, I think White Breezy's a commentator. I don't know if he's like actually
Mhm.
like doing
There's
it.
a lot of commentators because Luke's been doing a lot of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, Luke yeah, he does a lot of the behind the scenes, and then Impact does a lot of like the main commentary, does all the interviews and stuff like that. But they do they just got done with exhibition. I think they just started like actual tournament potentially. I cannot remember.
starting in the
But
new year.
yeah. But Team Ohana is I think part of it. We did an exhibition match like 2 months ago, a month and a
Oh, it was
half
forever
ago
ago.
or something. Oh, yeah, it felt like forever ago. Actually, the three of us that played are here. I lost because I was playing red purple and have no idea how to pilot the deck. DJ won. Was an insane win. Actually, I need to post the clip of you winning that game. And then Lucas also won because he's just insane with red blue. So yeah, it was very good. But yeah, this is Bailey Happenon. I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, dude, and you watch this video. His ICL list. I think Pyros is insane. So Pyros, when you banish a character, it restands itself. So the idea is you play Pyros, you play Arthur, you give the Arthur effect to Pyros, and he just is a board wipe. Does everybody know what Arthur does?
Yeah, he gives you another thing, the ability to attack standard characters.
And resist.
And
Resist, so he survives, he readies himself. He can even ready other characters, and it doesn't have the Pyrus has the ability where you can choose another character, and it doesn't have the "you may not quest the rest of the turn" tag. So
Yeah, it's crazy.
Daddy
what?
Gantu in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you
pretty
can
sure.
do that. Oh my god, to Ariel and Gantu.
Yeah, do it to Ariel Gantu, sneak out that last lore.
Yeah, dude, it's Pyrus is insane. It just didn't work in old blue, which made me really sad because I could never get it to like I could never get to like stick and like I don't know, made me sad. But I've always loved Pyrus. I thought it was a good card.
Yeah.
You may ready chosen character. Oh my god, this is trash.
I was literally looking it up too because yeah,
we're back, baby.
yeah, but this list is insane.
I'm a big fan of Twin Fire too, so
I indeed love the Twin Fire as well. I love being able to kill two characters, and if not, I can just kill the one.
Yeah.
Like, yep. Or at least ping something so like you can take it out with like your Calhoun or something like that, which I really like. Yeah, I love this list. And the Gantu's obvi. He doesn't play any bodyguards, but honestly, like
you don't need it. You're just throwing them and don't
yeah,
care. Because we're gonna play another one.
Having the Cogsworth plus the bro, imagine Pyros is literally not taking damage.
We got 40 as our bodyguard.
Oh man, that's crazy. I love
God,
this
my
list.
shoe is breaking.
I love this list.
This is nutty.
I wonder how many times he sees Haversham. Anyways, but yeah, we just wanted to shout this out. Yeah.
Yeah, we leaked the game.
Whatever. I always put his first and his last name together.
He's a 1/6 DJ, and when you play him and when he quests, you can banish one of your items to draw 2 cards.
That's crazy. I've never
It's pretty good
does.
Oh, was he? He's crazy, yeah.
Did you say he's a fox?
Yeah, he's a fox. Look at him.
He's a rat.
Yeah.
He is
Watch
not
the
a
Mouse Detective.
Have
Get
you literally
educated.
never seen Great Mouse Detective?
If we ever disrespect Fluttershy on this again, we're gonna have to talk.
Let's,
I hope we get Toby. Also, shout out to the next set. I hope we get Toby.
Hmm.
I hope we also get a reveal, a card reveal, Ravensburger.
please.
Yeah.
What's
Please.
wrong with you?
We're begging.
I'll let DJ use a Rapunzel mat at a tournament if he does. If we do.
Let's finish off by talking about this red blue deck. I guess we didn't. Nah. Hey,
We
purple
got it.
field's all
The best
good.
deck in the game right now.
You guys see that?
This is the best deck in the game right now, for sure.
All right, Lucas, take it away. Start yapping about your baby.
I'm determined. Okay.
This isn't even his list.
It doesn't need to be.
He didn't even play this deck like I told him to.
He
I
should
should
have.
have. For sure, I should have. But anyways, Shark is nuts. Okay. I cannot preach enough how good this card is. It's like a floodgate. It's a literal floodgate. And you can passively gain lore. Shield is crazy. There's just this deck is amazing. Sail is probably the best card in the game. Shark helps it. We get 4 big Sisu and B prep. I would have liked to see 4 brawl, but I mean this deck's pretty good.
Why didn't we just build this when we were testing decks the other? Why didn't anybody just
Well,
play?
I tested
Or
this one
Ice
for a
Block seemed like a lot
while.
better.
Yeah, we were messing with. I tested this deck, and I wasn't a
Oh
big
gosh,
fan of
yeah,
only
yeah.
one Be Prepared. I never saw items, but uh, Ice Block at 4 was I found a
Bricky.
bit much. I would probably max put 3
Three.
personally.
Three,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you can get by with 2, but 2 to 3 is acceptable range where it'll kind of go some different points. The one Be Prepared was really
Rough.
I feel like a issue at a lot of times where Sisu just didn't cut it, especially when
Yep.
you're just scraping by to get to that, board wipe area. And if your
Mhm.
only board wipe is Sisu and you didn't see an ice block or they have a
How
lore,
many
there's something.
uninkables are in this deck? 3, 7,
I really
eight.
watched his scouting. I really liked my
9.
round 8 opponent played this and he, got to stick shark because my deck can't remove things efficiently. And it was really neat to watch him, visions and like dig for 5 and then like kill a thing in the visions and dig for 5. So like
Yeah,
you can realistically find these like one ofs, but I agree that I would probably like play like 2 so you can at least get it out of your deck and then we can start grabbing it back with shark.
Yeah.
But I
Knowing there's
do,
another one in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
also feel like Pirate's Life fits perfectly in this deck too. by the
Pirate's
way.
Life is
Pirate's Life-
crazy.
Dude,
I
I
didn't
played a
even
guy that was
understand.
playing 3 Pirates Life,
I also
and he
played a
literally
guy.
Pirates Life me for game, and I was like,
I don't know if y'all
like-
saw, but I got hit with a dude that played 4 mana. He played 3 of them against me in game 2. He played
that's
3 mana.
crazy.
And, he sat
And
on
then we
the
were doing
top.
testing and we were like, get this mana out of our red blue list.
Dude, I'm like, man, that's crazy. He played 2 mana out and sat a shark. And I'm like, I
This
can't
deck
attack the
only
mana.
plays 16 uninkables if I did my math right. I'm really bad at counting.
That seems pretty average though.
I would, yeah, that seems pretty. Honestly, it seems lower than average because I think I was averaging 18 to 20 uninkables.
I think
when I
the
was-
one I'm playing right now is on 15.
That's not bad. I would definitely trade an ice block for a be prepared, but
Or a big
I just
pieces for a be prepared.
honestly too visions. Honestly, sales a really good card. Visions is like the best card.
Yeah, we gotta be playing 4 visions too. I feel like 4
Yeah.
brawl is also like super necessary.
Well, I guess if you can just grab it back with shark, but that's assuming you get to shark too.
And you're only running
And
2
brawl in
shark.
the early game
It's
is
not
Yeah,
like
like
only
you're going
running
heavy on
2.
shark.
Yeah,
Going
I
heavy
feel
on
like if you're
shark,
gonna,
I can lean towards the lower
Yeah.
ratio of actions.
I
I
feel
do
like
like
if you're gonna
Highway in this
play
deck.
that many actions, you are playing a 2-3 split. 2 Maui hero to all and 3 Maui half shark instead
Funny
of
that he's
the
a half
big
shark, but
Maui.
he's only got feet for the human. I've always thought that was interesting.
It's the lower half of the
Well,
body.
you don't see
Are
the
you?
the part
Never
that
mind.
is covered up, so that's still human.
DJ!
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's funny. He's
That's
supposed
not
to be a
family
half
friendly,
shark, but his
DJ.
human part is only his feet.
It's from waist up
Oh,
is shark.
Dude,
okay.
it's from like ankle up.
I do love this. Like even Corey has been saying that he wants to go back to red blue,
Yeah, this deck's fun.
and I I'm never gonna go back to red blue probably, but
I like the hideaways in the deck. I feel like you still have
yeah.
to respect locations. You can't just not
Is
respect it.
Hideaway just better than Cusco? Like, have we given up on
Yes.
Cusco?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just deeper.
that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And I guess in this list, if you're playing Mountain Shark, like it makes sense.
If there was some like absolutely absurd song that we were like building up to, like Wheel, like maybe Cusco would be better, but no.
Yeah.
Pirates Life.
Pirates Life.
Cook and sing Pirates Life.
Yeah, we're
True.
ramping just to sing Pirates Life with Cusco. That's the game plan.
I'm cooking this crazy. We're on 4 Ice Block and 0 Medusa.
I think
Yeah.
you don't even need to play Medusa. I don't think like like
Oh,
you
we
have.
need it.
I don't think you do. Like you have so
Just do
much
Pirates Life.
removal, and you just trade an ice block for to a B prep.
I feel like you could
You
trade
have
a
to.
CP for a B prep. I agree with
That's
DJ.
true.
And
Poor Sisu makes my stomach turn.
I still like B prep better than Big Sisu because Big Sisu is just so conditional. And if you don't see the ice blocks, you're cooked.
Mhm. I would also have all 4 of those in my opening hand after I
Yep.
mulliganed. Like absolutely, that's happened to me so many times.
Welcome to my world.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
but
there's a
yeah.
lot of room to play with the ratios in this deck
Mhm.
still.
Yeah, this deck is super
There's
interesting right
so
now.
many versions too. It's just
Yeah,
like we were talking about earlier, DJ, where like you can't just say Steel Song anymore. It's not Steel Song. Like people are building so many different. There's a burn version of Red Blue now, so it's
yeah. I played against it.
all the
And
burn version decks just make me want to hurl.
Are you
yeah,
not
it's
technically
crazy.
kind of a burn deck because you're just going sideways? You're just not doing it with other sources.
But yeah. Oh,
Oh,
this is
back
so
back
good.
to the good list. All right,
This
let's
is
talk more about this.
Watch it.
No,
just kidding. We're gonna talk about High Card. I'm just kidding. Nobody knows what this is. This is
Nope.
a Stanime.
no clue.
Oh no.
Um,
Hold on, I'm
Oh,
trying
you
to
we're
can't
about
do
to
that.
watch
Can't do
it.
that. What's happening?
I'm
Well,
trying
I
to
guess
exit out of it.
we're gonna figure out what anime it is now.
All right. Do we want to get to our final special announcement?
Yes.
All right, take it over, Tanya. You got it.
So we have DJ and I specifically have been working with his wife because she's awesome and really good at making logos, and she was kind enough to redesign our logo, and it looks
Woo!
so much better now. It doesn't look like clip art, because that's what the first one was. But this is our new logo. It's actually really exciting because hold on, if I can pull it up really quick. She was able to also make it in different colors, which are all going to be available.
What if I would like to purchase one of these? How would I be able to obtain?
That's a good question.
Glad you asked.
So actually, we have it in white, purple, pink, the white outline, which realistically only really goes super well so far that we've seen with the black shirts, um, the teal, and then the main logo, which will be switching on all of our platforms tonight or tomorrow, depending on what time I go to bed tonight.
Yeah.
But I have already ordered transfers and did hold on, wait, where is it?
I was gonna buy a shirt. Look at that.
And I already transferred some of the shirts. So this shirt's actually purple. It's lavender actually. It has the black logo. The logo's a little bigger than we wanted it to be. My fault.
Yeah, you
Um,
want way to see it.
but I will be posting a link down below in the description for an order form if you would like to order a shirt. They're going to be $18. All profits go to the team. It's very exciting. Yay! We also are going to have stickers, but we're probably just going to give those out, honestly.
People like the
They're
stickers.
they're the new stickers. I'm very excited because all the monocolors are iridescent or holographic,
Ooh,
either one.
Enchanted ones.
enchanted.
That's what
Dude,
I said.
we're gonna just give them out upside down, and some will get an enchanted Ohana.
But I'm very excited about those too. But yeah, we have a new logo and it's super sick. And yeah, I'm very
Sick.
excited. I'm very excited
Super
about
nice.
this. I've been
Yeah.
posting pictures in our group chat all day.
With
Um,
our model that we have on the team.
oh yeah,
Um,
Corey. Corey
The
was
handsomest himself.
our model. Very, very wonderful pictures.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for another Ohana cast. As always, I thank all of the team for being here. Thank you for joining us in general. Check out the description for all the links to our socials chats. Check out House of Cards, our sponsor. Shout outs to
Yeah,
House of
shout
Cards.
out to House of Cards in
We're super
Winston.
excited.
In
We're
Winston.
super excited to
North
see them.
Carolina.
Check out their TCG player and such. They support us. We're going to support them. Reach out to us, talk to us. The Azurite Sea meta is kicked off and rolling, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've been testing a lot. Hop in the Discord, talk to us. Just join up and be a part of the Ohana, and we are ready to keep it rolling.
Yeah,
Peace.
make
Thank
sure
you,
to
guys.
check every week because we are going to be posting a question of the week this week just for future reference. We are looking for your input on what you would have liked to know or see when you began your Lorcana journey. We've met a lot of people that just started in the Maribel set champs, so we're going to kind of do a little intro to Lorcana. So join the Discord, it'll be linked below, and give us your feedback.
Sick.